Did you get the wine?
Yeah.
You ready? Yeah, let's drink.
Welcome to the Buff First Wine podcast, where we unwind over wine.
We said what we said and we stand by it. Settle in.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's Sunday.
I know Sundays are the best because you can just reflect on the week you had, the week you're about to go into, and you can bitch and moan like it's your last day to complain about being at the house. Sunday is such a fucking mind fuck of a day because on one hand, you're hella happy at the fact that you can be at home not doing shit if you don't want to, but on the other hand, you depressed as fuck about the week ahead and about all the work you gotta do, about your job, about all these niggas' faces you gotta see just to pay the bills.
I know.
Mondays are fucking tragic, and Sundays are the more tragic because you just thinking about all of that shit.
About all the work you have to do. And then I think the worst, at least for me, is that I have to prepare to go to work the next day. Like, no one talks about that. Like, the fact that I have to sit down and be like, okay, like, these are the things I need to get ready and get in order for the next day. And that takes about like already 3 to 4 hours of my Sunday. And I don't even have enough of that.
Right. All you bitches in high profile jobs, that's what you get for overachieving because you was running real far, real fast to get to those jobs that got them 6-figure plus salaries. And we commend you because you know, hey, that's what you should be doing. Get that money. But now look at you. You fucking sat on podcasts talking about how you gotta work on Sundays because you have to prepare for the week ahead.
I know. It's pretty sad. But hey, I love it. Not the Sunday
You do
part.
love it.
Not the Sunday part, but the work part. I like it. I'm good at it.
Okay. I accept that because you are good at it. You're good at like 80% of the things I've seen you do thus far. So
That's a big compliment. But
yeah.
yeah, so we're here
Right.
on a podcast recording. This is our first
Yes.
official like recording where it's like sitting down.
Right. Something that we can refer back to. And just, a disclaimer, we are both drunk, high, both or the other right now. So everything you hear, okay, well, I'll speak for myself. I'm buzzing on both sides of the spectrum. So everything you hear will be a result of that. Now, just because I said that, that don't mean I'm rolling back shit that I said during this conversation. Whatever comes out, it comes out how I meant it. And I'm going to stand on that shit when I'm sober as well.
I feel it.
Just in case you don't know who I am. My name's Quayla.
I feel it.
Yeah, so...
Like, I was sitting down here on a Sunday on a podcast.
Right. Sun going down. I could be on my couch watching fucking Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah. I just think like, I feel like this is an avenue also to just like to just have fun and just discuss shit that's fun, free, funny, and I think I'm pretty funny, so I'm like, shit, why the fuck not?
Yeah, you are pretty hilarious. And I was telling her,
podcast,
right? Just to get all the funny shit out that we only say to each other.
You can listen to it.
Right. It's hilarious, and they will definitely get something out of it. But one thing I need y'all to know about Wendy is that she don't have any fucking like. She has no sense of what other people are doing because she is perfect. And I just want you to know she is like the closest thing to perfect.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm definitely not.
You are. So like,
But
yeah.
I think I just I have a different way of showing things like that. That's
Yeah.
not probably
Ask
what
forward.
people would, yeah, they expect. I like to think and be quiet more than I like to talk most times.
Ooh, that's a bar.
I mean, that's just yeah,
You're
that's just me.
quite the observer friend.
Yeah. I like to observe. I like to see and just like understand people from my own perspective. And I feel like I always give people benefit of the doubt. So like my bar is high, but it's not like high where it's like, oh shit, like what are you doing? I just want you to be like a human being. Like,
Yeah,
you
a
know.
decent human being, not just any kind of human being.
So that's like I observe that, and if I see that, I'm like, cool. Um, but enough about that.
Yes.
I think we wanted to do this just because we thought, why not? We are in our early or late 20s to early 30s, and we're in Chicago, living in Chicago, have an apartment downtown, living
The
the
city
life,
girl life, yes.
right? Like
Yes.
we know we have fun, we go out to eat a lot.
Yes.
Just that's just kind of like the kind of life that we have, so it's
Yeah, so we are two young women in the city of Chicago, and we're just having our fucking way with the city.
yep.
Every weekend, even weekday, we somewhere new. We in somebody's art gallery, drinking somebody's champagne, going to free shit.
Mm-hmm.
We live a very exciting life, I must say.
Yeah, so that's exactly why we wanted to do a podcast. It's so amazing. No, I'm just joking.
No. I mean, a little bit of that is juiced up, but most of it is not. Like,
yeah,
it's really exciting.
pretty accurate. So I think for me, it's just thinking about a podcast. I'm thinking about something that, as on a Sunday like this, or like on a Saturday where I'm cleaning and just relaxing, I could just
Throw the
play
shit.
it and just
Right.
like, oh shit, I relate to it.
They're
So
funny.
I want something. I want to be able to bring that to like a community.
Right. And importantly, to be able, not that we need it because we enjoy ourselves and we enjoy the community that we already created, but it's cool to kind of like get this out there and see what that community looks like online in other cities. You know what I mean? Like, we only know what it's like to be bad bitches in Chicago. What does that look like for people in DC or
Exactly.
Philly or Detroit, which I hear is on the up and up? I don't believe it till I see it, but I hear some good things about Detroit, so we'll see. But like, what does that look like? And I want to see what the community that we have in Chicago between us and our like close group of friends.
Mhm.
What does that look like in other cities?
Yeah.
So like, if they listen to this and be like, "Oh shit, they funny. They sound like me and my friends when we was cutting up back in Jersey or wherever the fuck people live these days," you know?
Yeah. No, that's right. So yeah, we just wanted to have fun, see where this goes.
Definitely.
But we should definitely talk about how we met.
Yes.
Um,
Why you laugh like that?
because I'm just remembering. Also, I'm a little high, so
Yeah, it's okay. This is a great conversation. It's going to
But
be.
yeah, we should talk about how we met. We actually met at work.
Yes. So we met at our job, and it was
Met
called
at the
AC.
job. Mhm.
And we both were hired amongst the same hiring group.
On
So
the
we were
same
in,
cohort.
yep,
Started the
same
same day.
organization. And it was a long ass fucking day. I remember getting there at like 7:30. And that building was nice as fuck
Yeah.
back then. Like, we
Yeah.
had caterers,
Yeah.
we had like, I was like, bitch, I made it. I graduated. like that's what I think of when I think of that. I was like, this is my first real job outside of college. I think I might have made it. So then all I smell in the air is coffee. This is a tech company, so they have money.
Startup. You
Right.
can tell they just had
They-
like a series of like funding.
That just went in and they just was like,
It was really
we
nice.
finna stunt this
don't
bitch out.
quite remember my first day,
Yeah.
honestly, but I'm pretty sure it was a good day. 'Cause
Yeah.
before then I was working. I just graduated and I was working at I was working at Uber. I was with
Uber, yes.
Right. but it was like a contractor job. So I
Mhm.
was like, shit, I gotta get the fuck up out of here.
Right.
And it was right as I was about to leave, they offered me full time, and I was like, no, I'm still leaving. So
Yeah.
coming to AC, it was like, I was like, okay, this is nice. This is good. This is giving me actual like startup vibe. And I'm
Right.
like,
And it
okay,
was
like, the people were nice.
right. And when I tell you it was so good in the beginning, it was so good. That's we gotta I'm skipping steps right now. Let me go back to when I met Wendy. So anyway, it's a tech startup that you know they got money now. Like money is everywhere. They basically could have had Gucci rugs in that bitch. Like it was.
They had the best art too.
They had yes, and it was black owned art. I was like, oh my god, my CEO is so in the know. Right, that's another story as well. But anyway, I get into my orientation. It's behind all these glass walls. I'm like, okay, fancy. You know, same old bullshit. White guy, white guy, white guy, another white guy, mixed girl, white guy. Then I see Wendy, which is my lovely co-host right now. And I was like, who is this bitch? Who
In a
is
good
this
way or
rebel?
a good way?
In a good way. In a great way. What do you mean? You're here now. If it was in a bad way, you would have never seen me again. I was like, who is this bitch? She had bright red hair.
I did. I did. I had bright red short.
Yes,
Yeah.
you had bright red hair, you had red lipstick, and you just had this dark skin, and you just looked like you fucking ran in the secret society. And I was like, bitch, who is this James Bond bitch? I must know everything about her. But at the same time, I was like, she is so stern. I cannot talk to her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, she's so like, I'm over this shit.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I never realized that.
No, it was just like you have this like if you don't know you
Mm-hmm.
or if they haven't talked to you,
Mm-hmm.
you have this way where it feels like it's so cold. Don't go over there. Don't talk to me.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like I don't give a fuck about you or what you're doing. But it's not I know you, so I know it's not malicious in any way. But when I tell you, I was like, who is she?
That's definitely, I feel like that's always because like I'm in my own world.
Yeah.
Like, so everything else, it's like you could be right there, but like you're totally like blocked out. Which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but like I'm very like
Tunnel vision. Like Wendy is the definition of tunnel vision.
so yeah, that's a good memory.
Yeah, that was my first impression of you. I was like, this bitch came in here looking like this. She didn't give a fuck. Everything was red. She was looking like a blood in LA.
Yeah, I remember starting
Red
at
lips.
AC, and I was thinking, I was like, my interview, I was like, I have to go into this interview being exactly who I am, because if not, I'm going to feel like I have to not.
You're gonna be miserable.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I came to my interview, I think I had like, I definitely had I think like pink hair. I had like a very different color of hair.
Yeah.
So when I came in, when I started that day, I remember they were like, "Oh, you changed your hair again," and I think it was like a day before.
Yeah.
But no, I remember starting. I remember having the red hair. I think my first memory of you was, I think we were having like we used to do like we used to eat together.
Yes.
Like when we first started.
Yeah.
And remember this other black girl?
Yeah.
That we started with. And I remember you used to crack me up because you would just say something and I'm like, wow.
Wait, what?
Yes. Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. You used to I thought you were like really funny. And I was like, okay, that's really good. That was like my first impression of you. Of like you would just say some off shit. Like, okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
but I like that. I like that because I was like, I feel like I gravitate a lot towards like bold people.
Oh yeah.
I gravitate towards people that are like very confident and like, yeah, like this is it. So I think that's
Yeah.
that's like my first memory of you. I don't remember quite what we were doing, but we were eating at that
One day,
cafeteria.
right.
Yes.
And boy, was that cafeteria nice. When I tell you, they used to cater lunch and dinner. They used to have like a catering service twice. You would get there in the morning, they had fucking breakfast,
Yeah.
and then you would go there for lunch and they would have potatoes and fajitas and all type of good shit.
Yeah, no, it was a very good
It was
place.
good when it was good.
Yeah, at least for me, like coming out, I was like, okay. Now that I think that was like my first time feeling like, oh shit, I'm like in the real world now, like working.
Yeah.
Because the other shit, it was just
Yeah,
like
right.
it wasn't like
Frivolous.
yeah. So that was sort of like that was yeah, and then we got really close. I don't even remember how that happened.
Um, oh, I got a memory and this sucks, but
Yeah.
yes. So we got close because you came into work one day and your hair was braided.
Mm.
And I was like, who did your hair? And you said me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then I asked you to do my braids.
Oh,
Do you remember?
I remember.
And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if they're gonna be good. Like, what if
Yeah.
she's one of those people who can only braid her hair and not
Yeah.
other people's? And I'm like, because of that, I didn't know what to charge you.
Yeah.
But you being the goofball that you are, you told me like, okay, pay me whatever you want to pay me. And I'm like, bitch, that doesn't help me because I don't want to offend you. And you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't know what to pay you, but I also didn't know what your work looked like on other people outside of you. So I was just like, okay, I want to get my hair braided. She said she'll do it. And she also said, pay me what I want to pay her.
Mm.
So now I'm nervous. So I'm going to just pay her $60. That's what I paid her. And then, so she came to my house. This is when I was living in a different apartment. She came to my house at like 9 in the morning. We got I Uber Eats us some breakfast.
Mm.
And then she braided my hair all day. And then she got done around like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I was like, damn, this bitch is fast because we technically, when she got there, I ordered food. So we ate the food. We sat down. We did a whole bunch of other shit before she started on doing my hair. So she got done with my hair. It was probably like 4. It was like between 4 and 6. I don't remember. I was like, she's so fast. Now I feel bad because $60 is not enough. And now she gonna think that I just tried to play her when really I just didn't know what number to give her.
Right.
Because she ended up doing my hair and it ended up being so cute. And I was like, damn, this bitch should have charged me way more than $60.
Well, I think that's also because like when I used to do hair back then, I never did it like charge. Like I'll probably do it, and then when I was in college, I'll tell my friends to exchange it with like
Something else
yeah
that they have?
yeah like we'll exchange it with like an eighth or something.
Yeah, of course. Right.
Yeah.
Just the fundamentals. Right.
I don't need that money right there. But
Right.
so that's
So you think.
oh, exactly.
Yeah.
So that was still sort of like how I was looking at it because I would never like I wasn't doing it for like, oh, I want to get paid. If I did it,
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, I'll just let you do it. So
Yeah, well, anyway, she did some box braids on me in like 2017, 18, one of those
probably
years.
18.
Yeah, 18.
Mhm.
And they were really good. And we also worked with each other. So I was like, oh, okay, bet. Like, damn, she seems cool and she know how to do hair. I gotta put her on the team. Like, she gotta be my friend. But we still didn't really know each other like that yet. Until I have another example. And this is what solidified her forever. So I have another example where
Okay.
we were at work on like a Friday. And it was very much like this right now, the weather. Like it was going into fall, so the weather was like either really good or really bad.
Okay.
And on Friday at work, you were like, let's get together and go to this taco place over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I'll text you, da da da. And then the weekend came, and it was cold as shit. And it was raining. And it was like September or October.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cold. So y'all was like, I'm not going any fucking where. I don't care. I'm not leaving my house. So I get to work. Oh, I didn't text her, by the way. So I didn't text her. In my mind, I rationalize this as like, oh, this my she not my friend yet. She my coworker. Like, it's just my coworker. So what? I blew my coworker off. Like, I'm not trying. It's cold. I'm not trying to explain that right now. I just don't want to leave.
Right.
So we get to work Monday. Mind you, earlier in the conversation, she said that we sit together for lunch.
Yeah.
We get to lunch, and I sit down, I eat my food, I crack a little joke. Stone Cold Steve Austin. She don't even look in my direction. He don't even look in my direction. I'm like, damn, did I piss her off? What happened? Yes, yeah, I bet you don't. So we get to the office and I sit down and we eating lunch. I'm thinking it's business as usual. I sit down, I eat my food. I'm like, hey, girl. Hey. Just like that. Low monotone, grovel ass hey. And I'm like, so what was you doing this weekend? Da-da-da-da. Me being bubbly, loud, and wrong, the typical, the usual. And she like, oh yeah, I really didn't do anything. Da-da-da-da-da. She eats some more of her food, and then she says, so what happened to you on Saturday? I was waiting for you, and you didn't even tell me that you didn't want to go to the taco place. In my mind, I'm like, damn, bitch. Like, you saw the weather on Saturday. I didn't even say that, though. Like, I said something like, oh, I don't even remember what I said, but I definitely know I wasn't being, like, straightforward about how I didn't want to go.
Right.
Because of the weather. I just chalked it up to, like, oh, I fell asleep. Like, I think I said some shit like that. You know when motherfuckers got that low-ass excuse of, like, oh, I fell asleep, my bad. They never fall asleep. They just blowing you off because they don't know how to use their words and say what they really need to say. So it was one of those before I was healed, before I knew how to, talk to motherfuckers. And she said, yeah, so why didn't it... What happened to going out on Saturday? I waited for you, but you didn't text me like you said or some shit. And I was like, oh, my bad. I fell asleep and then da-da-da-da. And she said, oh, okay, you should have said something. And then, and then this bitch ate her food. She sat there, ate her food. I ate my food. And then she got up. Lunch was over. She went to her desk. I went to my desk. And at this time, our desks used to be next to each other, but they split us up because we like became the best of friends, and we would be just chatting it up at our desk. So they was hating on us. They had to split us up. Mm-hmm. So at this point, our desk was nowhere near each other. So she could just storm off all dramatically like that and go to her desk. And I did the same. And I'm like, all while I'm walking to my desk, I'm like, this bitch is mad at me. I did not call her to tell her that I didn't want to get tacos. And now she icing me out at work. And I'm just like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I could have just said something. But in my mind...
That's crazy, because I don't even remember.
That's crazy. I remember everything. This was so pivotal to me. And I'm going to tell you why. Because in my mind, I rationalized, like, if you're not close to me, or if you ain't put in your dues or did your time with me, basically, then I don't owe you shit. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Right.
If we don't have a close relationship where you have already earned some respect with me and therefore I have your respect, I put your priority at the top of the list. But we hadn't done that yet. Mm. So I was like, right. Bitch, I'm going to sleep. Like... But she, when I tell you, it was like a baby going to get spanked by their mom. Like, she was just like, so why didn't you tell? Like, I was waiting on you Saturday. You didn't hit me up like you said. And it could have been something as simple as like saying, girl, you see the weather outside? Like, I am not going nowhere. She probably would have said the same shit. It's the point that I didn't respect it enough to tell you beforehand, right? Right. And in that moment, I completely changed my philosophy of like, you don't owe people shit. It's true though. Like, people think just because you don't know somebody, that means you don't owe them shit. That's not true. Even if you feel less than or whatever, you still owe people common decency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just a common courtesy that you would do for anybody. So that shit had me cracking up because I was like, damn, this bitch is icy. I like that. She is icy, like stone cold. And she was a fly little bitch. I was like, yes, she's gonna be my friend. Like, we're friends. And literally that's the life we live. It's literally like 6 years since then, right?
It's
like
6 years.
It's been like 6-7 years since we had that job.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that for 6-7 years.
Yeah. It is. That's crazy. Like, time just sort of like flies.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a cool little job. I think I think it was also like not my first time, but like as I've had like jobs, like I usually like make friends, but with very select people. So I feel like I do it.
You know, you gotta feel people out.
Like, I'm always like, okay, this is, and it's usually natural, but it's usually like this is who like this is who I have my eyes on. I'm like, okay, we can be friends because I size people up.
Right, before they even know. Right.
I size them like nope or yeah. So yeah, so that's interesting.
Isn't it funny? But it's so cute. Our little love story.
It is.
Oh, and did I not mention? Okay, so like I said, we've been doing this shit around Chicago for like 7 years now. But just this last year, she moved a fucking block away from me. So now we really doing this shit. Like, before she lived like 2 neighborhoods away, and I was like, oh my God, I ain't trying to get no Uber there at night. Like, I'm not trying to Uber home at night from over there. I might meet a crackhead. My Uber might take me into a fucking sex dungeon. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
It's dramatic.
What? Leave it, whatever.
That's the first fun fact.
No. I mean, you never know. I will never be caught slipping because my mind will think of every scenario beforehand so I can prepare.
Which is not a bad thing.
But look, we had some barriers, let's just call them barriers, that she removed, and now she lives a fucking block away from me, bitch. It's crazy. I literally just ran into her at the grocery store the other day. And I was like, this is some cool ass shit to live this close to your friend. Ain't that shit just so nice?
Yeah, it is. It is really nice. And I like it here too. It's very different in a good way.
Right.
Definitely like, because I've been living in like the west side of like Chicago, well, southwest, kind of.
I'm like, don't claim west.
Yeah, that's south.
You ain't out west.
It's very like it gave me this like neighborhood feeling, which is why I started living there in the first place. Like, because I'm from Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm very used to like people outside just like doing shit, like street food, and like things like that. So living there, like after going to school over there, I was like, yeah, this is the shit. This is what I want. This is where I want to live in Chicago. So I ended up just like staying there. Like I stayed there all through college till last year. Yeah. I was there for a while. Till this year. What am I saying? Like,
right. Yeah. You literally just moved this spring.
I just moved. Yeah. So, but my experience.
You got over it. You know, you grow up and you need different.
But it was time. Yeah. It was time to onto greener pastures.
For sure.
If you stay somewhere for too long, you just stop growing sometimes, and I don't like that. So.
No, that's a fact. More on that later.
More on that later.
No, I'm facts though. But yeah, so we've been in Chicago doing our thing or whatever. And we've even been abroad. We ain't been abroad. My dumb ass. Yeah, that's still in the US.
That's still in the US.
Technically, we stole that shit, technically, but you know, like we do everything else.
Mm.
But yes, we've been traveling together. We've already passed the travel test. I feel like we've been on what, 2 or 3 trips?
Yeah.
3 trips? Yeah.
I think 30.
Yes. So she locked in. At this point, the only way she getting away from me is death. Not to be morbid, but I'm just letting you know how thick this shit is. I will slap somebody in the face for her. So don't talk crazy. We gonna run after the fact, to be clear. After that slap connect, we running after.
Yeah.
But just let you know that shit will happen over her. Thank you.
That's sweet. I'll do the same though. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm happy we established that, right?
Okay.
Where are we?
We are.
We are high. Just in case y'all didn't know that part, we are. I just want y'all to hear something. Listen, that's me clinking 2 wine
I
glasses
love
together.
the sound of that too. Just like,
Yeah. Oh, what do we do? I mean, so we briefly touched on what it is that we do.
Yeah.
One of us here likes their job, and one of us doesn't. And you can guess which one that is based on how we continue. So, Wendy, I'll let you discuss a little bit about what you do. Be vague, because this is going on the internet. We do not want no fucking weirdos trying to look into who we are. Mind your business and read the Bible.
Business,
Thanks.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, we both work at tech companies. I do things. I talk to a lot of people. I'm pretty much in product, so yeah, that's what I do.
Right, and that's all you need to know. Very cute. Keep it cute. Thanks. Yeah, and me, I also work for a tech company, one of them OGs, and I am essentially how I like to describe my job as the babysitter. So if anybody needs to talk to our developers or engineers and they're on like the front line, they have to come talk to me. And then if I think it's good enough, they can talk to the engineers.
You make it sound.
It's babysitting. Is it not babysitting?
I see what you mean.
Right. And then, I solve problems that they can find themselves all day, every day. And yeah, I hate it. Just to circle back, I said someone either loves their job or someone hates
But
their
that's
job.
the thing. Do you
I hate
the company, or you hate the role itself?
I mean,
Like,
that's
you do it in a different place.
No, this is
Okay, so
another
you hate-
conversation.
okay.
Like, I hate it. Like, I'm an equal opportunity hater. I hate everything in the situation.
Totally.
Like,
I love
yes,
that.
I hate everything in the situation. But that's for another podcast topic. But yes, we are both two sexy young professionals in the tech. Black professionals. Yes, sorry.
Already.
Yeah, you knew that. Come on.
That should be pretty clear.
Two Black professionals in Chicago. One of us is single, one of us is not. You'll learn more about that later. And yeah, we are definitely in the fourth quarter of the year.
I can't believe it. Like,
It came so fast. It came and went so damn fast. But now it's time to be adults. I ain't gonna speak for her, but I was fucking off for the first 8 months.
you mean like financially, or
Just fucking off every which way.
Everything.
Yeah, across the board, tens across the board, I was fucking off. Emotionally, financially, just out here just saying fuck it. So now we closing out the year. We want to see, we got to go into the new year doing better, being better. So what does that look like? Like, what do we have to do in these last 2 to 3 months to prepare ourselves to go into 2024? That shit sounds stupid, by the way. It's such a layered question because there's so much that feels out of my control,
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I'm just taking it honestly. Like, I feel like end of year for me is always time for me to be grateful. and ask for what I want for the next year.
Yeah.
And also just think about like the achievement in this year. But that's sort of like how I think about it of like I don't life is so like sometimes I don't want to remember like the things that happened early in the year because it seems so far away.
Yeah.
It seems so far away, and you're just like, damn,
It's
that's
going
also
fast.
like this year. It's
Yeah.
been really fast. But that's how I think about it. I try to think about like the good going forward. First things like I wouldn't want to make the same mistakes that I made in 2023 in 2024. So I try to reflect of like, okay,
What not to do.
right, like what went well for me and what didn't go well, and then going into 2024. And I say this, it's not like I'm writing this shit down. It's usually like
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
telling you,
right.
like,
It's like, yeah.
I'm not about to. I don't sit. I wish I could just sit down and be like, oh, I'm not gonna. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not a lot I have the mental capacity for these days. Because we're just so overloaded with different kinds of information.
Right.
But yeah, so that's how I'm excited though. I'm excited for New Year. I have a lot of things I feel that's gonna be on my plate. So it's gonna be trying, difficult, but I'm excited for new challenges. How about you?
Oh, what a question. I don't know. Mine will sound a little different, I guess. The new year, I don't know. I always end the years like very at peace with what has happened in the year.
Mm,
Like whether that's the truth or not, like I am mentally at peace.
right.
So it's like my space is clean, like my mind is clear, like I'm ready to tackle on the new year. I didn't mean to rhyme right there, but it just happened to be that way. Right. But anyway, so I imagine this year will be the exact same. Like my house is gonna be spick and span. My mind is gonna be clear. I'm gonna be ready to do everything that I need to do in order to have a good year. I just hope the good year is listening right now,
Right.
so we can be on one accord.
Same page.
Right, because I feel like I did that this year and probably the year before, and some shit just stunk up the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all that I can say. I mean, it was that was still positive. Like it wasn't framed in a negative way. So I'm
No.
I'm happy with that.
No, it wasn't at all.
But yeah, so that's how I feel about it. I'm going into it fresh minded, grateful as always, thankful as always, but at the same time asking like, uh, hey, Big G, where these blessings at?
What's up?
Like, what's up, my man? You finna make it rain on my forehead? Cause that would be great.
Yeah. I have good feeling about next year, so I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it'll be good regardless. That's the thing about me. I know how to make anything good. So it's gonna be good regardless, but yeah, I'm just interested to see what the fuck is gonna happen next year. I'm gonna be open to everything. New money, new ways of getting money, new ways of keeping money, goddamn.
New ways of getting money for sure too is high on my list.
Yes, new ways of getting money, new ways of keeping money, new ways of tapping into that money. Like, this is what I'm very interested in. Like, people who you think have money, like, don't really have money like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the people behind those people who you think are like the handlers, who be like real low key,
Yeah.
them the motherfuckers that have generational wealth so far up the ass. And they live in a different world than us. And I'm just trying to learn about that world, okay? Like, I was,
Crazy.
before I came here, I was watching a cooking show. And this man was like comparing caviars and talking about how like they try to shit on each other in their social circle based on
I was gonna say, like, there's multiple,
There's levels.
like, different.
There's levels. There's a little tin of caviar ain't this big.
See,
that costs like $300.
My money's not that long yet.
Exactly. It's a little tin like this that costs $300 of caviar, and they eat that shit as their evening snack before they wait for their chef to cook their dinner. I want to learn about that world. Okay,
yes, that's the goal.
that is the goal. I want to be so low key with money. Like, I know that's an oxymoron if you know who I am, to be low key with money, but I want to be so. Like, I want to have so much money so I can just buy expensive ass coats, bitch. Like,
just unlimited.
Like, just alpaca coats, mink coats, like coats.
I want money for it too.
I want money to do stupid shit like that. Buy nice interiors because this chair was only made in 3 parts of the world and I got one, bitch. Yeah. That's all. Like, I ain't trying to do nothing weird with the money. Just give me the money. Give me the money. And that's what the next phase is for me. So that was a long-winded way to say I'm after the money. I'm not after the niggas. But if you want to come in my life and make shit easier, the door is open, babe.
Same. That's a very good explanation.
I'm just saying. That's not my focus.
I like it.
I'm very clear about what I want. And you have to be.
You have to be.
So we also want to let you know that this is our very first podcast, as we said at the beginning, our very first podcast episode. But because of that, our podcast does not have a name right now.
No, we don't have a name yet.
It's very untitled. How does it feel right now?
I like it. It feels like there's a lot of possibilities that we can explore. And our only rule is like, what's our rule?
No corny shit.
Corny shit.
Like, we got to put that on shirts. Yeah. No corny shit. But yes, so we hope that you guys really enjoy our podcast. It's literally us just fucking around in our most natural habitat over a glass of wine or 2 or 3 or maybe the bottle. But just know that it's in the room. Click. It's in the room at all times. Yeah. We are going to be talking about a wide range of topics but no corny shit. That's literally the whole moral of the story. So, like, once you hear this podcast in full and you can run it back with your friends, blah, 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 I hope that that's the lasting impression. I'm going